Welcome back. Time now for Media Watch. James is here with a computer and a whole list of stories.
Yes,
Are we looking at the riots?
That's right, it's all on the riots. And one video, just a couple of videos really that I want to show this evening that have been doing the rounds online. If we have a look at this Vanguardia, that's a Barcelona-based website, they're even talking about it. A shock live video of the BBC. This went out 2 days ago, and it was just, I suppose, one of those interviews that shows the difficulties of having an impartial interview. We're listening.
Are you? You have taken part in them yourself.
I have never taken part in a single riot. I've been on demonstrations that ended up in a conflict, and have some respect for an old West Indian Negro and stop accusing me of being a rioter.
Douglas Howe,
grandchildren.
thank you very much for joining us.
So just to explain that, it was a video that got over 1 million hits on YouTube over the last 2 days. He's a community leader in Brixton, and the presenter, I suppose, somewhat awkwardly said, "Did you not take part in riots yourself in Brixton in 1981?" Now, he was involved in demonstrations, but he maintains he wasn't involved in any riots. In any case, he had been pointing out that people were rising up, that there was a sort of an insurrection. So it was just one of those videos, I think, that people watched either if they didn't agree with him, or if they did agree with him, or if they thought, yes, he's right, this is an insurrection. You know, in any case, it got a lot of attention online. He was invited, if we have a look at this website, on the Democracy Now! Show. They interviewed him this afternoon, in which, again, he insisted how predictable these riots were. If you listened to the youth of these neighbourhoods, you'd have known it was coming. On Twitter, people were commenting about it. This guy, DJ Skelton, saying he was moronic to call it an insurrection. People working with their homes and businesses destroyed by thuggish criminality. So he didn't agree with. I
think Skelton's got a point, but I think Darcus Howe too has a point as well. I mean, given that there are so many young people in the UK today who find their future completely blocked by various issues. I mean, if you're clever and you can get a chance to go into university, you know, you have to pay such ridiculous fees. Now you come up with £30,000 worth of debt, you know, that kind of thing.
And so
or there's such a massive jobless sort of
and his
problem
own
young
sons
people.
have been stopped and searched regularly by the police. He's a writer, by the way, in the UK, so relatively
he's well known in the UK, Darcus Howe, well known.
So in any case, I suppose what it points out is the difficulty that the media faces in a situation like this in remaining impartial. And I suppose she asked a question that was not entirely. In any case, the BBC apologises for accusing Darcus Howe. They've in the end had to apologise. And another article here, which I thought was interesting, in the Telegraph: London riots, BBC criticised for branding thugs as protesters. So this is the opposite scenario, where they're being accused of being too politically correct. So it shows, I suppose, the fine line that media in the UK are walking, broadcast media in any case, who are trying to be impartial, and sometimes the questions are a little bit too provocative, other times they're being too politically correct. So there you go. And
I think it's simple. It wasn't a protest or a demonstration, was it? I mean, you couldn't say what are they protesting against, because they're not voicing any concern. What they're doing is just wrecking things,
and
stealing things.
That's it. So I suppose it's hard to be politically correct.
Although it
about
may have
that.
begun as obviously the protest against the killing of a man in Croydon, in South London. Certainly what happened next had nothing to do with that, did it?
Exactly. It was just a sort of a spark, and things weren't really related. Just one quick video that I'd like to play at the end. Now, this was another video that gathered a lot of attention over the last number of days. A woman speaking in the area, in Hackney. So we'll have a listen to that, because that's got a lot of attention too online.
Get it real, black people! Get real!
In the middle.
I'm ashamed to be a Netty person! Because we're not all gathering together and fighting for a cause. We're running down Foot Locker and keeping shoes. Dodgy teeth, we're not. Stop.
What was he saying?
So Mrs. P is her name. She's well known in the area of Hackney. She basically said, get it real, black people. This is not what we should be fighting for, etc. And it just sort of captured the imagination of a lot of people who think she spoke the mind of an awful lot of people in these communities.
Okay.
So
we need to say, obviously, though, but what we're seeing in London it may seem to be predominantly black people involved in that, but if you look elsewhere in the UK, there are white faces and predominantly white faces involved in this
all ethnic
insurrection, as Darcus Howe called it. Call it what you like here, a lot of people being looted, a lot of people losing a lot of business. There we go. James, thank you very much indeed. James Creedon with Media Watch.